if you want to start a structure that will stand firm, there are two things that are supposed to be involved, two things that are supposed to be right: the foundation and the materials that you use to build a building on that foundation. If the foundation does not have the right material, give it time. When a building stands there with the right material, it will not stand. And if the building is not having the right material, but the foundation has the right material, definitely the building will not stand. And this is some of us how we behave. Sometimes, if you are not really careful, you'll be thinking that what you are building is still having the right materials just because the foundation was right. You can start something with God, but when you move out of His ways, you disqualify yourself from your foundation. And as the building keep on standing, give it time, it will not stand. And sometimes this is where a lot of people forget and say that I started with God. Yes, you started with God. But along the way, did you continue going out with, or did you continue with God? Along the way, were you still in the line with God? Look at the children of Israel. When God removed them from Egypt, He started with them. They went into the wilderness. They began to divert away from the ways of God by worshiping idols. What did God do? God told each and every one of them that you will not enter the promised land. You will see it. Some saw it, they did not enter. Some did not even see it. But the ones who entered are their children. So you can start with God, but always pray that God, may I finish with you. If I'm not mistaken, there's a part that Apostle Paul said that I pray that even myself, I may run a faithful race, that I will not be disqualified. My fear is that I will not be disqualified. So a lot of people be saying that, oh, God spoke to me to start this. Yes, you started it. You started that relationship. You started that marriage. You started that church. You started that foundation. You started that job. Yes, God told you. You have to go in it. You start a business. God tells you starting. Yes, you are starting with me. But you need to maintain some principles, structures, and strategies in order for you to continue standing on the foundation that God has put you. So many people are not standing on the foundation that God put them. That's why you find that there's some people who be running with what God said, not knowing that God has changed his words. This says, when God told Abraham that take your son Isaac and go and offer him as a sacrifice. That's what Abraham did. Yes, he did. When he took Isaac and went to the mountain, he was going with what God told him. But the moment he reached and lay Isaac on the altar, God changed his word and said, do not kill your son, your only son. God provided a lamb that would take the place where Isaac was supposed to be sacrificed. So if Abraham was not paying attention to what God is saying now, Isaac could have been slaughtered. So many people are still holding on the word which is good, because that's what helps your journey. But when you are in your journey or you reach your destiny, pay attention if what God is saying is what God said is what He's saying. Maybe He said that so that you can come out of that place, and when you reach your destination, He will change the structures. So I pray that the foundation that you lay, continue building on right things, because that you not be disqualified. A building that is not involving God, it can never stand. And sometimes we want to maintain what God is not even there. God has left. God has moved. So sometimes you find out, why are things not moving the way they're supposed to move when God spoke? Ask yourself, are you doing what God said? Are you operating in the way that God told you? Are you following the instruction and the steps? Because if God removes you from a place, from your starting point, and what does it say? The steps of the righteousness man are ordered by God. So when he removes there, he begins to order your step and tell you, step here, go here, do this, do this. But sometimes when God speaks to you, after he removes you from the place of stagnation and you begin to have your own steps, definitely you'll not reach the destination even if God told you. But the steps that you begin to make, if you're making your steps by yourself, you will not be able to reach the destination, because at that particular time you are moving in your own steps, not the steps of God. And let me tell you why God will not force you to come back, because he has given us a free will. A free will is why he gives us the ability to do what we want to do, because he doesn't want him to be held accountable that you prevented me from doing my things. But when you come to him, and if you do not follow his will, you face the consequences. So don't just look at, oh, I started with God. You started with God. Make sure you're still working with God, and make sure that where you're going, it is God. The moment you're off what he told you, you begin to walk alone. And like that, your building can never stand, because you're now building on materials that God has not provided and put on your way. So God bless.